Hi, this is Kate. Welcome to Blooms in the Yard. Today, this really is a plant purchase confession. I went to the store with no intention of buying anything, and it really was, they say plant therapy. Yesterday, I was told that a third of my yard is going to be torn up by the city. And I really did cry all day yesterday. So this morning I had already had plans to go shopping with a friend of mine. I designed an area of her yard for her, and I told her that I would go shopping with her. So we went to 3 stores this morning. I had no intention of buying anything, but I did buy some things. Let's get into it. This is a firecracker sedum. Sun Sparkler firecracker. I love these. I have several around my yard, and it was $5. So I went ahead and got their last one. I think I'll put it in my mailbox garden. This is Sykes Dwarf High Oak Leaf Hydrangea. I really love oak leaf hydrangeas. I think that the leaves are really interesting. They bloom pretty consistently for me, even though they do bloom on old wood. So I saw this one just recently in a Master Gardener demonstration garden. I actually did a tour of that, so I'm not sure if that video will be up yet or not, but you'll be able to see it in that tour. I liked about it that it's more lower growing. It's 2 to 4 feet, and then the one I saw had a lot of little flowers, and I kind of like that look on hydrangeas, not having all the blooms at the top, evenly distributed throughout the plant. And so I just liked the look of this. It's the Sykes Dwarf, and I had no intention of buying it today. And I was at the store and I saw it and I bought it. So now this one I have been intending to buy. Just when I got a chance, when I saw it. It is the little Quickfire hydrangea. So I have 3 of these in the back. And I mean, I'll be honest, mine are never going to look that pink ever. But they do look white, and then they fade pretty nicely. They're not terribly brown when they fade. It says 4 to 6 hours of sun, so mine gets morning sun. Probably right around 6 hours. It's really happy where it is. It blooms well and it doesn't really get burned too bad. 3 to 5 feet. And so I have 3 of them, and I wanted one more in this spot back by my air conditioner. I went ahead and got it when I saw it today. And then the last thing, this morning when I was checking out, I was with my friend, and she and I were just talking about how much we don't like mums because we can't keep them alive. If they dry out once, they're done. And so we were just talking about how much we hated mums, and then the checkout woman is like, "Oh, you get a free mum." I got my mom, and I'll see how long I can keep it alive. I said, we'll have to let each other know whose dies first. I'll probably get these planted. We'll see, maybe today. Another part of why life is a little bit difficult right now is because I hurt my back on Wednesday. So I'm trying to decide if I'm going to plant these anyway, just push through and see if it makes it worse, or maybe it'll make it better. I don't know. I'm going to see if I'll plant these today. I think that the problem with this container at this point is the basil. I was thinking I would put the free mum I got in here, but everything else I think kind of looks okay. So maybe I'll leave those. I was thinking I would stick this in here. So I got this mum for free, and I've been looking for like a larger container I can just pop it into, and they're all kind of occupied. I have this, which is kind of fun. It's too shallow though. So I have all of these dried hydrangeas from my basement. I'm gonna experiment and see how they look, kind of covering up this bottom bit. I don't know, it might be super dumb, but I'm gonna try it. So this is looking kind of empty. So now I'm really getting experimental. I stick some of these in here. Is that terrible? Kind of to help us kind of transition from summer to fall. I'm not sure what I think about that. Here's what I ended up with. I think that this looks pretty nice, kind of fall-ish. And then I did stick those hydrangeas in there just to make it look a little more full. And again, it gives it a little more of a fall feeling. So you guys will have to let me know if you like that or not. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not sure that I'm completely in love with it, but like I said, just to kind of fill in. This is that firecracker sedum, which I really like, and I will put in my yard soon. Okay, so the other day I put those dried hydrangeas in here, and they looked cute for like a day. First of all, they were falling out, which I was afraid they would do, and they did. My hair's doing a flippy do today. And then they turned brown right away, which like those have been drying. They've been dried for like 2 years in the house, and you saw they looked kind of greenish. And then they like instantly turned brown, and then it rained, and now they're just really wet and gross. So got rid of those. So that was, you know, an experiment, and you guys can learn from my mistake. Probably dried flowers outside is not going to work well. So I went to the store and got some pansies to stick in here. I did really like the way that the metal looked on top of here, kind of rustic, kind of fall. I haven't managed to kill the mums quite yet, so I thought we'll just stick some pansies in here. I haven't really started experimenting yet. I don't even think I'm going to take the mums out of the pot, because this way I can kind of build the dirt up to here, and hopefully the pansies will cover the pot. Fill it up with potting mix. I got all pansies, and I got this pretty ivy. So I also got this salvia for my garden because I just love this salvia. It's the Rose Marvel salvia. I thought about sticking it in here, but my memory when I was at the store was not accurate, so there's not room for this plant in there. But like I said, I got this for the garden anyway, so those I'll just put in the garden. And aren't these beautiful colors? I know it's fall, but I just love purple, and so I'm just going to stick with purple. The other thing I got at the store was this Epimedium. I really like Epimedium. So you'll hear dry shade. It does do well in dry. I didn't have any luck growing it in full shade, so it's currently on the east side of my house where it gets morning sun, and it's done really well there, and it's filled in, but it's taken a long time for it to fill in. And that is the area that I now know will be dug up sometime next year. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to start a patch of it somewhere else. And this one blooms pink. The one I have blooms yellow. So I've been wanting to try the pink one, so I thought, well, now's a good time to start it so that I can get it going, and I won't be as sad when my big patch back there is destroyed. So you're going to hear about that a lot, about my yard being dug up. But yeah, I'm going to plant this on my west side, so hopefully it will do as well there as it has on the east side. But I'm going to go ahead and stick these in here. I don't usually do fall containers, and I got 3 Mom, and then now it's turned into I had to buy these pansies. Not my fault. I ended up putting the 2 salvia I bought in my mailbox garden. So next year, these annuals won't be here. It will be the sedum. The sedum will go all the way. And in front of these irises, and in front of the salvia, and then continue in front of my roses. I have 3, well, I had 3 petite knockout roses. I now have 5. So that is the plan. I'm going to be switching from annuals to perennials. I just did annuals this year while I kind of thought about what to do next year. So that's where the salvia ended up. So here are my existing little quickfire hydrangeas. I have 3 in here. Unfortunately, this area is dominated by this monstrosity. I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't notice it that much anymore, but when I was trying to set up the video, this is where I'm gonna plant the 4th little quickfire hydrangea. When I was trying to set up where I'm gonna film it, it's like every angle is just air conditioner. ever since I planted these 3. I always felt like I really should have just bought 4. And I maybe even could have just spread the 3 out a little bit better, but there's always kind of been this blank spot, and I'd love for this to just be a solid area of these Quickfire hydrangeas. So finally bought one, and I'm ready to get this area complete. Here's that Epimedium in this side garden that I recently updated. I think it will do okay with being dry, being raised up here. You can tell while that Geretum took a beating from some rain, but otherwise this area is looking pretty decent. The Ajuga is doing pretty well, as is all the sedum that I put in. And the Black-eyed Susans looked pretty rough for a while, but they're looking okay now, and the daisies as well have recovered. So I'm gonna be focusing more on this side of the garden, since the other side, anything I do over there will eventually be torn up. So I'm gonna shift my focus over here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you could tell that by the end of the video I'm getting to be myself again. It was just a couple of days of feeling sad, but you know, it's all good. I've moved on. The mums are looking really pretty now. You can see that I've done a couple of plant shopping trips, and I actually have more videos coming up with some more plant shopping trips and some kind of wacky decisions. So be looking for that in videos coming up soon.